My name's Montoya Smith, aka Black Socrates. Many of you know me from the Mental Dialogue talk show, where all I ask is that you think, on Glance Radio every Sunday night, 7 to 8 p.m. Tonight's Piece of My Mind is in reference to the Trayvon Martin case and will there be justice served. The convictions have happened publicly, whichever way you fall on this issue within the African American community. Of course, our community feels that he's been or should be convicted for overstepping his bounds on the night of that tragic case in which the dispatcher told him, don't follow the kid. He confronted Trayvon Martin, and now Trayvon is no longer here. I don't think anybody would say that that's a sad situation, but for those who are in support of Zimmerman, I'll try to figure out for the life of me, what is it that you're in support of? Because I do try to see things from both sides of an issue. And I thought very hard about it, and I said, you know what? They're in support of the idea that this man was trying to protect his neighborhood. There were some previous burglaries in the neighborhood the week before, and so maybe he was a little overzealous in his situation, but ultimately he was just trying to protect his neighborhood from somebody who was being a transgressor. Now, stepping in and trying to understand the other side is not me saying that that's okay, but I try to figure out why in the world, for the life of me, would somebody send their money to this man who they don't know in support of him. And I guess those people are saying, well, he's being demonized when he actually followed the law. Stand your ground. The law is in place for a certain reason. But what you have here is a man with some relationship to the police telling his version of how he killed a kid who he thought was being a transgressor, or in a situation he was in fear of his life, which is what the stand your ground law allows for you to protect yourself. But just at his word, he was taken. And I couldn't imagine myself as a black man, as a watchman in any neighborhood, following a kid, especially a white kid, for example, and saying, well, he looks suspicious to me, and I confronted him. He actually started beating my butt, and I actually shot and killed him. I'm not walking. No way I'm walking. And there's no way anyone in America would assume I'm walking. I don't have a criminal record whatsoever. But I'm not walking out of that situation. I would at least be arrested. So that was the tragedy from the start. And now there is a fear within the African American community that they're now putting images out of Trayvon Martin smoking weed, which I have no idea how that applies to this trial. But of course, the defense is trying to paint a picture or an image that most of America is comfortable with, is that a lot of criminals are weed smoking black men. Like, let's not talk around that. That's what we do in this country. Well, if you go on college campuses, you would arrest just as many white kids that are the future of America, and the adults of you that have went to college, you know, you see plenty of drugs on college campuses, but the police are not there. But in the neighborhoods or in the hoods, the police are there, and so you see these kids going to trial. I'm not excusing the hood for dealing drugs, because I'm an adamant believer just because you're poor doesn't mean you have to survive that way. But in a lot of cities, the truth is, it is the only available jobs. Somebody may say, well, once again, you're defending it. No, I'm speaking the truth. That's a reality. If you're not in those situations, then it's a reality you won't understand. But unfortunately, once again, as I say, we talk around these issues, so we only have confrontations of race during trials like Trayvon Martin, during trials like O.J. Simpson, and then the color lines are then drawn. It's because we don't talk about these type of situations before these situations happen. So, for example, I'm pretty sure there are people who are in support of Zimmerman that would ask the black community, where's your outrage when there's black on black crime? I think that is a very fair question, but we should be able to ask that question and then say to you, what is it exactly that you are supporting? Because I've already gave the example, I couldn't do it, and if you support Zimmerman and realize that as a black man I couldn't be in that scenario and it play out the same, then you're not owning up to what's still not fair in America. You've gotten a piece of my mind, some questions that I want to make you think with. Montoya, aka Black Socrates. Check me out at Mental Dialogue on Facebook. Follow me at Twitter, twitter.com/Mental Dialogue.